Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jonathan Golden, and today we were talking about the 2014 Chevy Volt POS. I tell you, super upset what happened, but I wanted to share my story with you and keep you guys, if you have a Chevy Volt, updated with all the issues that I have. So I was driving my Chevy Volt on the freeway in the carpool lane because I got the carpool lane stickers, but fun fact, those stickers expired this year, so I can no longer be in the carpool lane. So this car is just going downhill. So I'm in the carpool lane, right, and I'm going up a freeway, going a little bit above the speed limit, 70, 75, which is normal, and all of a sudden I have a dash that pops up. There's an error. It says engine not available. I was like, wait a minute, what the heck's going on? So I'm losing power. I have to swerve and get off the road. So it was like, as fast as I can. It was like, people are going fast. It's LA, and the car just like lost power. I'm like, whoa! So I get off the freeway, and I'm like, engine not available. I'm like, great, I blew up my car, done, engine's done. And I call the tow truck, and they tow the car back to the dealership. And I called the dealership, which I was really upset at the time because I spent $2,000 in maintenance. At 100,000 miles, they recommend all these services. So I was like, you know what? I don't want my car breaking down. I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to do spark plugs. I'm going to do brakes. I'm going to do brake fluid. I'm going to do engine oil, coolant flush, transmission fluid, all that stuff. $2,000 worth of work, and I don't have time to do it myself, nor do I want to. And so that was all done and taken care of, like literally a couple days before or a week before. And then I call them all mad and like, dude, fix my car. So I take it in, and they diagnose the problem for free. So they diagnose the car, right? And they say, hey, Jonathan, your transmission's failed, and you need a new transmission part. The part, you could fix the part, like $2,000, or you could do new transmission for $4,000, and we recommend getting the new transmission. I'm like, of course you do, because it's $4,000, which is ridiculous. I just spent $2,000 on like a car that's not even worth, like, you can KBB this car. I got 130,000 miles on the car. What is it worth? Like nothing, like 10 grand. So I was also upset. I was like, you guys need to fix this. I just changed the transmission fluid. This shouldn't be happening. And they weren't really, budging for that. So I was in a bit of a panic. I need a car. I drive 3,000 miles a month. So I need a car for work, and a reliable one. So I panicked, and I was like, all right, what do I do? And one of my buddies, he's got a Prius, and he said, you know what? I drove my Prius to like almost 300,000 miles. It's still going. What I did was I went to the junkyard, replaced the motor. It's like $500 to swap it in and out, $1,000 for the motor. But this time it was a transmission. So the transmission was $1,000. I called the junkyard. It has 23,000 miles on the transmission. That was a car that was wrecked. So I bought that, $1,000. And I took it to a shop in the valley, which I'll try to link everything down and below for you guys. So if you guys have issues or want to buy like used parts or junkyard parts, these are the places that I used. So you can check them out. And I did all that. So I called the shop. They said, all right, it's going to be $500. So I'm in the car, another $1,500. So 2,000 plus 1,500. Do the math, 3,500, which is a lot of money. It just randomly. So I do all that. Car gets done, and they said, hey, you need the transmission fluid. I'm like, oh, great. So another $80. And then they're like, hey, you got to come pick up your car or tow it back to the dealer because you have to program the transmission. I'm like, oh my God. So another thing we have to do. So I called the dealership. I'm like, hey, I got the tranny swapped. You need to program my car for free. And so they did that. Thank you. But so that was all done. That took like the whole process about a week or two. And that was all done. So I was back on the road, but I was out $3,500. And my next maintenance was another oil change, and they recommend changing the oil every time it says oil level or oil, what's it called, oil percentage, like 0%, which is a long time. And I did it. It was 20,000 miles. You go on the car before it says 0%, like oil life. That's what it is. Oil life when it says 0. So I'm like, all right, you guys told me. So I take it into Chevy. Oh yeah, so the people that messed me up was Chevy Burbank, so don't go there. I went to Chevy Valencia. They're pretty cool. So they went there, they took care of my car, and I was telling them the story, and they're like, hey, you know, if you would have took it to us, we would have honored the work. I was like, what? You would have changed the transmission? He's like, yeah, it would have been our fault. I'm like, oh my. And this is months down the road. I'm like, whatever, you know, now I know, right? So I was bummed about that. They did the oil change, and then they left the cap, like, of the oil level, you know, like where you pour in the oil in the car, and they left it kind of like messed up, like kind of not in thread and kind of crooked. You know, when you screw on something, it's just not right and it leaks. So that's what they did. And I was driving around the car for a couple days, and it would smell like something was burning. And I thought it was my heater because it was really cold at the time, and I had the heater on, always going. I'm like, I'm freezing, it's cold, and the heater was on, so I smelled the oil, and I'm like, all right, I'm a car guy, you know, I get curious. I open the hood, and there it is. It's oil like leaking out, and I thought, like, this is an electric car. I thought my car was gonna catch fire. I'm like, God. So there you have it. The warranty on the car is 100,000 miles or 6 years. So I was just over the warranty at the time to repair the transmission. I was at 106,000 or 109,000. So I was just over the limit for them to fix and honor the car. So if you do have a Chevy Volt, you may want to consider selling before you hit 100,000 miles, because something might happen. Depends on how you drive, of course, but there you have it. I just wanted to share my story with you guys. I find that cars over 100,000 miles do have problems. Like, I had a Subaru, it had just countless issues after 100,000 miles. So I think that's kind of like the ticking point of cars when you drive to. Like, you just kind of want to get rid of it after 100,000. But I do drive 3,000 miles a month, so I'm going to be keeping this car and using it for my work until it blows up, and then I'm probably going to get like a Prius Prime or a Tesla Model 3. So comment down below what daily driver I should get next, and I hope you guys found this video helpful, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. The Porsche is wrapped, and I wanted to show you guys that, but I'm planning on a reveal video for that. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Jonathan Golden channel. Look forward to seeing you guys next, and don't buy a Chevy Volt. If you guys want a sneak peek of the Porsche GT3 wrapped like a GT2 RS, it's right over there. Looks so good. Stay tuned, guys.